45 or 43, 42 rather days remaining until the launch of Guild Wars 2. Hi guys, today I guess I've had a little bit of a day off, so I've left it really late. I was going to do a full daily today, but I just kind of got caught up doing other stuff and just had a bit of a day off. So I decided I was just going to do more of an announcement daily today, just to let you all know that there is another day has gone by. I'm still going to do the feature of today, but yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a shorter episode. Tomorrow, however, there's been so much news and stuff that's happened since the last daily that I did that I want to talk about. I'm planning on doing a longer, probably quite a bit longer of a daily episode, so we'll see how that goes. That should make up for today at least. But the feature I wanted to talk about today was the fact that the endgame world bosses are now actually out on the real world instead of buried under ridiculously difficult or really long raid encounters that most people will never actually see. Now, to me, this is something a lot of people are talking about and saying is really cool. To me, I think it is great that we'll be able to see these big bosses and experience them out in the world, and they actually mean something for the world. That, you know, in other games, if there's a massive boss at the end of a dungeon, you might read some quest text that says, oh, this thing's going to destroy the world, but it never really will destroy the world. Let's be honest, it's just going to stay in the bottom of the dungeon unless you go to hunt it out. In Guild Wars 2, the really nice thing is that these things are going to come out and they are going to start destroying stuff, and you're going to really feel like you have to go and fight them. There are, though, I would say, some negatives that come from this. Obviously, there is the thrill of going through a really long, difficult raid and knowing that there's going to be these massive, epic encounters in other games right at the end, and now with Guild Wars 2, you don't really get that so much, but to a degree, it is still in the game, because most of these things only appear after super long meta events that you really have to push hard in a certain direction. So, assuming none of these meta events chain in that if you are just neglectful as the players, eventually the boss will spawn, which isn't how any of them are designed, I believe. I believe ArenaNet said that if you want to see something, you're not going to be encouraged to let events roll and basically fail events. You're never going to be encouraged to fail events. So it's always through completing event chains eventually you'll get and see these big bosses. So because of that, there is still that element of working towards something like this, except the only difference is now they're actually going to be out there and they're going to start tearing shit up, and it's really cool. Guild Wars 2 has got some pretty crazy massive bosses as well. It's a bit of a shame. I believe now it seems like that one that was revealed in the launch trailer actually is just like Tequatl, I believe, is what a lot of people are saying now. So hopefully there will be a lot of variety of these things. So far we've only really seen two, plus some glimpses at a third and possibly a fourth in the trailers. So we'll see how they go. But certainly there are a lot of big bosses. You can't forget about the ones in the starting areas. Whether they'll appear in events and stuff, I suppose they probably will. Would you guys be upset? That can be like a question for you. Would you be upset if they reused the big bosses like that over the game? I'm not sure whether I would. I feel like if, say, the Earth Elemental right at the start of the Queensdale thing, or this new boss we can see in the Assyrian area, which is actually pretty damn cool, if I saw that again later on when I was out in an event, I suppose it could make sense in lore that it's, you know, it's the golems reappeared, or it's a different Earth Elemental. It could feasibly happen, like, realistically, but would that really be that fun to see the same one a second time? I don't know whether I'd mind that much. I probably wouldn't care too much, but I wonder how much variety we really will see on these big bosses. So, but yeah, there is a big part of Guild Wars 2. ArenaNet seem to really care about their big boss encounters. It's a massive step up from anything we saw in Guild Wars 1. Yes, that game did have some cool boss encounters, but there was something about that game that even if you were fighting something really big, I think it was because they let you zoom the camera out so much, it actually felt like you weren't fighting anything that impressive, and there were very few and far between when you were fighting massive stuff. But in Guild Wars 2, you really get a sense for the scale of these things, and they totally outshine anything that was in the first game. So yeah, really cool. I think that if you were to point at one thing someone would see in a video that would get them interested in the game, it's probably one of these fights. Like the Shatterer. Who remembers when the Shatterer came out at the Gamescom thing? Everyone went nuts, and I don't blame them. The same happened with Tequatl to an extent as well. Just really cool, awesome feature of Guild Wars 2. And yeah, you'll find more information in the description below. But like I said, loads of news and stuff. I'm thinking of just doing like a newsy type thing tomorrow. Should be pretty long, should be pretty interesting. So yeah, that's to make up for today. Sorry about this, guys, but yeah, I just kind of took a day off. So anyway, I guess I will see you tomorrow. I hope you all had a great Saturday as well, and have a good evening, guys. I'll see you later.